Hello! I'm Elaine, and I'm a tour guide in the French Quarter. I do ghost tours. And I am not going to tell you the stories that I tell on my tour, because you gotta pay for those. But if you want to hear some interesting things that have happened to me while I'm leading random drunk people around the French Quarter, I got you. If you ever come on my tour, one of the first things I'm going to say to you is that there are no bar or bathroom breaks on my tour, which means that if you need to pee or get a drink, go now. I say this about 7 million times a night, to the point that, I don't even have to think the words, they just come out of my mouth. And that's actually bad because sometimes, I get confused over whether I've said it or not, and it just gets awkward sometimes. But annoyingly, at least once a week, sometimes 3 or 4 times a night, I'll have somebody, and it is usually a man, and he's usually a middle-aged or older man, who will respond to this with things like, oh, should I go here? Where should I go? Right over there? So should I just whip it out and go right here? And I personally do not find this funny in any kind of way. And partially because it's just not a good joke. It's stupid. But also because, frankly, we have too much experience with people doing exactly that. I have had so many guests on my tour think that it's appropriate to just, step to one side and pee against a building, or pee against the gate at Jackson Square, or pee against a film crew's trailer. And, this is not okay, because first of all, the entirety of New Orleans is not a public restroom. But also because if you get arrested for public indecency, it's going to come back and bite me in the ass. Which also, fun fact, if you do not know, at least here, if you get arrested for public urination, that is a sex crime, and you will go on a registry. So if you ever want to live near an elementary school in your life, I would suggest maybe don't pee in public. But I've seen people pee all sorts of weird places, and luckily most of them are not on my tour. But I've seen people pee on a cop car, and that one, hilariously, I'm pretty sure it was the cop from the car who stepped out to pee on his own car. As I mentioned, I had a guest pee against a film trailer, but also just against the historic buildings. I've had a guy pee on a convent. There was one night I was waiting for my guests, and a guy was trying to pee against St. Louis Cathedral, and it seems he got caught by a local who felt the need to follow him down the street for 2 blocks, screaming, "Look at the church pisser! This asshole thinks it's appropriate to piss on churches in front of kids!" And church pisser is just a really good insult. It really is. I love it. But tonight, I got out of my car, and there was a guy coming down the street towards me. It was a quiet street, and he was shouting back at the woman he had just left, who had just asked him, are you going to get a drink? And his response was, no, not get a drink. And he steps off to the side and starts peeing in the gutter. Now, I'm pretty sure he just did not notice me, because he looked up suddenly, saw me there, and his eyes got as wide as discs, like he was a deer in the headlights. But he was already midstream. It's not like he was going to stop. So I just sort of avert my eyes so I see as little genitalia as possible and keep walking. And I'm almost at the corner when I suddenly hear footsteps behind me. And it's running footsteps. And of course, I freeze, going, oh my god, is he about to, attack me? Is he going to try to steal my purse? Is he going to fucking tackle me? Is he going to try to talk to me and explain himself, which would be even more awkward? Oh my god, I do not want this moment to happen. So I'm staring intensely at my phone as a very clear signal of, nope, not addressing this. And as he doesn't actually slow, he just runs straight by me, and he does not really look at me, but he goes from being completely silent to right when he's next to me, very quietly mumbling, "I'm a clown," and then he just kept going. And my best guess was this was his way of apologizing for peeing in front of me, but it was an odd moment. But my favorite story about guests peeing somewhere is not my story. This is one of my friends, and this was pretty early on in her career as a tour guide. She'd only been a tour guide for a couple of months, and she was leading a pub crawl. And she had a guest that she had told them, if you need to pee, you can just go into one of the bars, buy something, use the restroom, and come back. And this guy stepped away from the tour and went to go try to pee against a building. And she's like, no, you need to go inside and pee in a bathroom. And he stepped into the bar, and it seems he missed the part where we were still in COVID restrictions, and therefore he needed to show his vaccination card and put on a mask. And when they told him he was going to need to do this to buy something, he said he wasn't there to buy something, he was just there to pee. And they explained, well, you're going to have to buy something to go to the bathroom. And his response was to, in the middle of a well-lit, fully public, open to the street bar, just pull out his penis and pee in the middle of the bar. And my friend, I'm sure, like, had no idea this was going on until she tries to pass by the bar and glances in and sees him screaming as the bartender is screaming back at him, being like, you can't pee here, you jackass! And the other members of that guy's party went in to try to, stop him? Help him? I don't know, I wasn't there. All I know is that she said that they did not come back by the end of the tour, and she was quite happy about that. So, yeah. Please don't use New Orleans as a public restroom.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to share your own experiences in the comments below.